The wind howled across the frozen plains of Xylar 9, carrying sharp needles of ice that cut through the thick fabric of the human expedition suits. The planet was cruel, an endless wasteland of white, broken only by jagged black rocks jutting from the ground like the bones of a long-dead giant. For most, Xylar 9 was uninhabitable, a world where survival itself was a challenge. Yet humans had come here, carving out a small mining colony that scraped valuable resources from the planet's frozen crust. Captain Selena Vance trudged forward, her boots crunching in the snow. Her eyes, sharp and cold, scanned the horizon through the visor of her helmet. Behind her, a squad of 5 soldiers moved silently, their rifles ready. Each step they took was cautious, measured. They had a mission: locate and neutralize the Zetherian raiders who had been attacking the colony's supply lines for weeks. The raiders were unlike any enemy humans had faced before. Tall, muscular, and fast, with skin that shimmered faintly in the cold light and weapons capable of piercing even human armor. Selena tightened her grip on her rifle. She had fought in countless battles, seen planets burned and comrades lost, yet there was something about Xylar 9 that unnerved her. The vast emptiness of the frozen plains made her feel small, exposed, and the storms that could arrive without warning were merciless. She was a soldier, trained to face danger, but even she respected the raw, untamed power of this world. "Captain," said Lieutenant Mara Kent, her second in command, her voice slightly muffled by her helmet. "Scanners are picking up movement ahead. Could be a raider patrol." Selena nodded. Her visor highlighted a faint heat signature about 200 meters ahead. The shape was humanoid, but larger than any human. The squad slowed, spreading out in a tactical formation. The snow masked sound, making every movement feel louder than it should. As they approached, the figure came into view. It was a Zetherian warrior, its skin a deep metallic green that seemed to shimmer even in the dim light of Xylar 9's pale sun. Its eyes glowed faintly amber, and it carried a weapon unlike anything humans had seen before. A long, jagged spear that hummed with energy. The Zetherian's posture was aggressive, as if it were ready to strike. Selena raised her rifle, taking careful aim. Her finger hovered over the trigger. She had no doubts that this creature could kill her and her squad in moments if it chose to. Yet before she could give the order to fire, something happened that froze her in place. The Zetherian dropped to its knees in the snow. Its massive body trembled, and it raised its hands in a gesture of surrender. Then, in perfect Basic, the universal language used by humans and many alien races alike, it spoke. "Don't kill me, human. I will warm your bed." Selena blinked, her mind struggling to comprehend what she had just heard. She lowered her rifle slightly, her instincts screaming caution. The squad tensed behind her, confused and uncertain. "What did it just say?" Mara whispered. Selena shook her head slowly. I don't know. Keep your weapons ready." The Zetherian continued, its voice low and pleading. "I swear, I mean no harm. Please, I only seek shelter. I can help you survive this storm. I can warm you." Mara raised an eyebrow, incredulous. "Warm us? It's a giant alien warrior. It wants to warm our beds?" Selena kept her focus on the creature. She had learned over the years that enemies often used tricks, lies, and deception. But something in the Zetherian's tone was different. Desperate, almost human. "Step back," Selena ordered her squad. They obeyed, creating a cautious circle around the alien. "We need to know if it's telling the truth. No sudden moves." The Zetherian nodded slowly. Its glowing eyes flickered nervously. "I fought with my people, but I do not wish to die. Please, I will serve you. I will protect you. I can be useful." Selena studied it carefully. She had faced enemy soldiers, assassins, even mercenaries from rival human factions. but never an alien with such a mix of strength and vulnerability. She knew the risks. Trusting it could be deadly. But if it were telling the truth, if it really could help them, this could be a chance to gain an ally no other human had. "Why should I believe you?" Selena asked, her voice steady but cold. The Zetharian lowered its head, almost in shame. "Because I have no other choice. I am alone. I am hunted by my own kind. If I die, I will vanish. But if I live, I will serve you as no other warrior could. My strength, my skill. Your enemies will learn to fear me." Selena's mind raced. She had to make a decision. Every second spent debating could be fatal. The storm was approaching, and the alien's heat signature could be useful in the freezing cold. Yet she also knew that Zetharians were cunning, and this could be a trap. "All right," she said finally, lowering her rifle completely. "You live, for now, but one wrong move, and you die." The Zetharian bowed deeply. "Thank you, human. I will not fail you." Selena motioned for her squad to move past the alien and continue toward the colony. The Zetharian followed closely behind, its massive frame moving surprisingly quietly across the snow. As they trudged through the frozen wasteland, Selena kept her eyes on the alien, studying every motion, every expression. Its presence was unsettling, yet strangely comforting. There was a strength in it that she could not deny, raw, untamed, and fierce. Yet beneath that strength, there was vulnerability, a willingness to submit that humans rarely saw in warriors. By the time they reached the colony, the storm had arrived in full force. Winds tore across the plains, snow blinding the eyes and freezing exposed skin in seconds. The humans hurried to secure the perimeter, their suits barely holding against the cold. The Zetharian moved with ease, its body radiating heat that seemed to push back against the storm. Soldiers instinctively gravitated toward it, feeling warmth they could not explain. Inside the safety of the main outpost, the human team gathered around a flickering fire in the mess hall. The Zetharian stood quietly in a corner, head bowed, letting the warmth of the room wash over it. "You're going to tell someone about this?" Mara asked Selena, nodding toward the alien. Selena shook her head. "Not yet. No one can know we're harboring a Zetharian, especially like this. We don't know what it's capable of, or what its people will do if they find it here." The alien lifted its head slowly, meeting Selena's gaze. There was a flicker of gratitude in its glowing eyes. "I am yours to command," it said softly. "I will not betray you." Selena studied it for a long moment. Trust was a dangerous gamble in her line of work. But she had learned that sometimes the most unlikely alliances could turn the tide of survival. And as she looked at this alien warrior, kneeling in her mess hall, offering strength in exchange for mercy, she realized that humanity's greatest power was not just in weapons or strategy. It was in compassion, in understanding, and in courage to make difficult choices. The storm raged outside, but inside the outpost, a fragile alliance had formed. And in the quiet, Selena allowed herself a thought she rarely admitted aloud. Maybe, just maybe, this alien could teach them something about surviving and thriving in a universe that seemed determined to destroy them. The storm had passed, leaving Xylar 9 coated in thick, sparkling snow. The outpost looked almost peaceful under the pale sunlight, but Selena knew that peace was fragile. Every day on this frozen world was a battle against the elements, and every night brought the fear of raiders. Yet something new had entered her life. A massive alien warrior who had bowed before her, pleading for mercy. Selena watched the Zetharians silently as her team moved around the outpost. The alien, whom she had reluctantly named Krill, stood in the center of the room, arms folded, observing every human with quiet attention. It had refused all comforts, sitting on the floor instead of the heated chairs, almost as if it were studying human behavior. Lieutenant Mara, ever suspicious, approached Selina. "Captain, are you sure we can trust it? One wrong move, and it could kill us all in a heartbeat." Selina exhaled slowly. "I don't know, Mara, but we can't just leave it out in the storm either. If it's telling the truth, it could be an asset. If it's lying, well, we'll have to be careful." The first test came that evening. One of the outpost's supply drones malfunctioned and caught fire in the storage bay. The flames spread quickly, and human soldiers scrambled to contain it. Krill moved without hesitation. In a blur of speed and strength, it ripped open the storage crate, picked up the drone, and hurled it outside into the snow where it exploded safely. Sparks flew, and the heat of its body kept nearby soldiers from freezing as they worked to put out the fire. The humans stared in disbelief. It saved the supplies," Mara whispered. "And us too, I think. That heat. It's like standing next to a furnace." Selina nodded, her eyes narrowing thoughtfully. Krill wasn't just strong. It had instinct, precision, and control, and it was willing to act to protect them, even without orders. Over the next several days, Krill proved its usefulness again and again. It helped repair broken equipment in record time, carried heavy mining machinery, and even predicted weather changes, warning the humans before the next storm. The soldiers began to rely on it, and even Mara started softening slightly. Still, Selina remained cautious. She knew the Zetharians were cunning. One small mistake could cost her entire team their lives. She decided to conduct a more direct test of Krill's loyalty. "Tomorrow we'll run a training simulation," she told him. "You'll fight alongside my squad against simulated Zetharian attackers. If you betray us or act recklessly, you're finished." Krill bowed deeply. "I understand, Captain. I will not fail you." The next morning, the outpost's training area became a battlefield. Human soldiers and Krill faced mechanical targets designed to mimic Zetharian attacks. Krill moved with grace and precision, reading the simulated enemies like an open book. It shielded weaker soldiers, anticipated attacks, and neutralized every threat with efficiency that even Selina hadn't expected. After the exercise, Selina approached Krill. "You did well, you protected them, and you followed my orders. That's more than I expected." Krill's glowing amber eyes met hers. "You asked for loyalty, Captain. I give loyalty. I survive, I fight, and I protect." Selina felt a strange respect for the creature. Despite its size and power, it had humility, a quality rare among warriors, human or alien. She began to realize that Krill's greatest strength wasn't just physical. It was discipline, intelligence, and willingness to adapt. However, the peace was short-lived. Scouts reported that a Zetharian raiding party was approaching the colony, much larger than any before. Panic rippled through the humans. They had managed small skirmishes before, but a full assault could destroy the outpost. Selina gathered her team, including Krill, in the command center. "This is not a drill," she said. "A Zetharian fleet is heading our way. We'll have limited time to prepare. Krill, I want you to help us. Use your knowledge of their tactics. We'll defend our people, and we'll survive. But if you betray us..." She let the threat hang in the cold air. Krill bowed again, a silent promise. "I will not betray you, Captain. Your survival is my goal." As the humans scrambled to prepare defenses, Krill moved quickly, offering suggestions. "They will attack from the North Ridge," it said. 3 squads. One will attempt to flank. I can hold them there while you set traps." Selina was impressed. Its understanding of Zetharian tactics was far beyond anything she could have predicted. "Very well," she said. "We'll do it your way, but we stay together. No risks." The night before the attack, Selina couldn't sleep. She walked to the observation deck, looking out over the frozen landscape. Krill stood nearby, silent but present. For the first time, she saw the alien not as a monster or a prisoner, but as an individual, one who had survived unimaginable battles, who had choices and had chosen to kneel before humanity. "You trust me?" Krill asked softly. The sound of its voice was different now, less pleading, more calm. "I'm learning to," Selena admitted. "But it's hard. I've been betrayed before. I can't let my people pay for my mistakes." Krill tilted its head. "I understand. Loyalty is earned. You have given me a chance. I will repay it with my life if I must." Selena nodded, feeling a weight lift from her chest. Perhaps this creature, this Zetherian warrior, could be more than an ally. Perhaps it could remind humans of something they had forgotten, the strength to survive not just through weapons or armor, but through courage, trust, and understanding. The morning came, cold and gray. Scouts reported the approaching Zetherians. Selena's soldiers moved into position, hearts pounding, rifles ready. Krill took the lead, standing tall in the frozen wind, its massive frame radiating heat that seemed to calm and embolden the humans. The first Zetherian strike hit the North Ridge exactly as Krill predicted. Its body moved like a storm, deflecting energy blasts, throwing attackers into snowdrifts, and using the terrain to its advantage. Human soldiers followed its lead, fighting with a new confidence. For the first time, they were not just defending themselves. They were part of something larger, something powerful. Even Mara, who had doubted Krill, felt awe as she watched it fight. "Captain," she shouted over the roar of the battle, "it's incredible! It's like it knows exactly what to do." Selena didn't answer. She was too busy coordinating the defense, but inside she felt a spark of pride. Humanity had survived countless battles, faced insurmountable odds, and yet, here they were, fighting alongside an alien warrior who had once begged for mercy. This was HFY in its purest form. Humans and one brave alien, standing together against a threat far greater than themselves. Hours passed. The battle was fierce, but Krill's strategy and strength turned the tide. Zetherians fell back, retreating to regroup. The humans had survived, and the outpost remained intact. As the dust settled and the humans counted their losses, Selena approached Krill. The alien stood quietly, surveying the battlefield. It had sustained minor injuries, but its eyes glowed with determination and pride. "You did well," Selena said, her voice calm but full of respect. "You saved lives today." Krill bowed slightly. "I told you. I serve you. And I keep my word." Selena looked around at her soldiers, all alive, all exhausted but victorious. For the first time in a long while, she felt hope. Not just for today, not just for the outpost, but for the future. Perhaps humanity could survive anything if it had the courage to trust, to adapt, and to see the strength in others, even those who were once considered enemies. That night, as the humans celebrated their survival, Krill sat quietly in a corner, observing. Selena noticed the alien was not partaking in the festivities, not out of pride, but perhaps humility. It had fought, it had risked its life, and yet it waited patiently, almost as if it understood that trust and loyalty were earned over time. Selena walked over and placed a hand on Krill's shoulder. "Rest tonight," she said softly. "You've earned it." Krill's glowing eyes softened. "Thank you, human. Tomorrow, we prepare. The war is not over." Selena nodded, knowing the truth of those words. But for now, they had survived. And sometimes, survival was the first step toward something greater, toward unity, understanding, and the true spirit of humanity. Outside, Xylar 9's frozen plains stretched endlessly, silent and unforgiving. But within the outpost, humans and an alien warrior shared warmth, trust, and the beginnings of a bond that could change the course of their survival forever.